In November 2025, Kampala became the epicenter of the continent's economic future. From the 17th to the 21st, Uganda hosted Africa Industrialization Week, a high-level convergence of policymakers, industrialists, and visionaries. The mission was clear: transforming Africa's economy through sustainable industrialization, regional integration, and innovation.
Partnering with the African Union, which formulated this African Industrialization Week as a platform for African countries to engage and come up with lasting solutions to solve the economic development challenges that we face, is a great opportunity for us to showcase what Uganda has done, what we are still planning to do, to pick the minds of all our neighboring countries on the next steps.
It has put us really at a center point of the transformation of the Africa's industrialization journey, and I believe we have really been able to make a mark, demonstrating not only our capacity but our willingness to scale and to collaborate.
At the core of this week was the 4th African Women in Processing Forum. Hosted by AWIP Uganda, it brought together women from across the continent, not just as attendees, but as the architects of value addition.
At Jire Edo, we realized that in Ghana, there's a lot of imports of rice, and we are trying to help KEP solve that problem by introducing Chidom rice, which is neatly processed, sorted. It has no stones, no debris, very clean and suitable for all rice mills, both local and international mills. I participated in the pitch because I realized that it was time to bring my company and what I'm doing to the world to see.
Ubuni Green Limited makes biodegradable diapers from banana fiber, and we are based in Nairobi, Kenya. So when we came up with the biodegradable diapers, we had two issues that we wanted to tackle. Number one was that diapers don't have a good traction on how they're disposed. So imagine having diapers that actually biodegrade. So the impact is good from our side. It's my first time coming to Uganda, considering we have bananas as our main raw material. So you can imagine how excited we are as Ubuni to explore what Uganda has for us.
The business, they make bags, they make other home accessories. We are working with women and children, so basically these were ladies and some young girls. Some of them were sex workers, so they came up out of that and they are doing this now. The government is also wanting to continue to work with us because it's something that we are doing that is also helping the country.
The forum was not just a showcase, it was a critical dialogue on the structural realities of industrialization. Entrepreneurs and policymakers engaged directly on the barriers to scaling.
I think one of the biggest challenges that I face as a woman in the manufacturing is that sometimes you go into a meeting and somebody expects a man to be with you in a meeting because you're asking very technical questions. They're looking at you for a man in your space to say something like, no, I'm the one in charge, I know what I'm doing.
So one of the things that I understand is that industry or entrepreneurship generally is a very lonely journey. That means someone needs to be connected to market opportunities so that their businesses don't remain at the micro level, but actually get to a point where we can have much more impact.
As a woman entrepreneur, especially in Ghana, most of the time we face access to when it comes to financing, because as I am young, I'm a woman and I don't have landed properties, so I'm unable to provide landed properties as collateral for accessing loans. So this is a major problem because rice production, rice processing is very capital intensive.
One of our biggest challenges has to do with energy, and we are running our factory on a diesel generator, which makes our production costs unnecessarily high. Accessing capital is a bit of a challenge.
The main gaps that I see for the MSMEs and all our players in the manufacturing and industrial sector so far have been access to long-term patient capital. Most of these MSMEs need support. So it's two key things that I see: market access and sustainability. Then we also need long-term finance, that they can be able to take loans that can last maybe 10 to 15 years. So we need, as government, to come up with a deliberate policy to support MSMEs.
Moving from problems to solutions, the week culminated in a historic commitment. AWIP Uganda presented the cluster model, a strategy now adopted to fast-track industrialization through designated women-led industrial parks.
The idea of having women-run and led industrial parks is been a distant thing here in Uganda. We have industrial parks, but not those that are run by women. So AWIP Uganda stands tall in being the pioneer of the industrial hubs. Now that sets us as an example, but also enables for us to encourage other countries to go in this direction.
In terms of value addition, our approach is a cluster approach. We select one value chain and we ring fence it and reinforce it. At AWIP, we create the full ecosystem for you so that you just need to come and plug and play. You find the factory space is already created, the equipment has been identified, the processes have been figured out. We even have gone as far as putting a management company into place. Our model is an asset-owned model. You own an asset which includes land, a factory space, the equipment, it's yours. You have your own title. And therefore, you're creating your own cash flow, you're creating your own financial history, you're creating your own bankability and credibility.
Now, our African Women in Processing Ugandan chapter have taken the lead. They've even opened up an industrialization park, one in Buyikwe, one here in Munyonyo. They have set the pace for all African women in processing, and they are now being looked at as the model to be replicated all over the continent.
Beyond policy, the week delivered tangible results. The vision of the African Continental Free Trade Area was realized in the connections made on the floor.
So the way I want to leverage the opportunities from this African Industrialization Week and from AWIP, I'm getting partnerships from different companies that I met. And first of all, we had an opportunity to get a scholarship from a company in Nigeria that is going to sponsor 3 of our artisans. So that's something that is big that I got from it for now.
I'm excited to see where we could do with the Southern African market, because we've had so far interactions with people from Namibia who showed very big interest. So I'm optimistic that in the next few years, we will see trade inside Africa becoming more efficient, more cost effective, and we see more African brands made by Africans for Africans.
We're even looking at creating a full value chain where, for example, Algeria imports $200 million worth of coffee from Uganda in a year. So then AWIP Uganda and AWIP Algeria can form a joint venture where the Ugandans grow the coffee, the Algerians process it, and then we share the arbitrage at the end of the day. And that way everybody benefits. They say when you want to move fast, you move alone. When you want to move further, you move together.
As the curtains closed on Africa Industrialization Week 2025, the sentiment was one of profound gratitude and renewed purpose.
I am so grateful to the African Union and also the African Women in Processing for doing this event and also inviting me all the way from Ghana. I am so grateful for this opportunity and I hope that it continues.
Because AWIP is already an African Union initiative, our participation just makes us feel at home, really. So our participation has created value for the women, but also help the Africa Union initiative to actually cement the role of women in industry.
I'd like to very much start by thanking our AWIP champion, Madame Ron Osman, who is the director of ETIM at the African Union. Her championship for us and the heart for women empowerment is what is able to bring us this far. I would also like to thank the African Union for prioritizing women.
Then I would like to thank the African Union Commission, who really supported us from the day we started planning a year ago, and UNIDO, UNIDO also has worked with us along the way. The Uhuru Institute also has worked with us. I, as a PS, it's my first time to host this kind of event. So far so good, I would say. We have set the bar.
Africa Industrialization Week 2025 was more than an event. It was a demonstration of readiness. Led by women, supported by policy, and united by trade, the industrial transformation of Africa has begun.
When you invest in a woman's business, you are really touching lives and nations, because we take everyone with us. Women are all about legacy. Our business are not just one and done. We are building very, very big businesses.
Africa can only solve its problems. Let's try to solve them on our own, and others will join us and help us and handhold us.